Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. Toyota drivers might have to stay close to power outlets in the future because the company is considering making all of its vehicle hybrid plug-ins. Toyota just unveiled its prototype plug-in Prius, which uses a combination of gas-powered combustion engine and electric motor, like earlier hybrids, but with a bigger capacity battery, which enables it to run longer. But make sure to plan ahead once you have the car, because it takes 3 to 4 hours to fully charge on a 100-volt current and about 1 hour on a 200-volt system. Jean in Canada believes this is the way of her future. I will not buy another regular car. I will only buy a hybrid or hopefully one with a hydrogen fuel cell engine. From Oregon in the US, Michael says, look to the military for clues to the future. The US Army has already acknowledged that the world entered the peak oil phase in 2005 and is preparing for renewable energy in battlefield conditions. Does that tell you anything? Now, on Wednesday's show, we highlighted the plight of domestic workers in the Middle East and around the world, and the comments from our guests drew a number of responses from you.
People are treated as powerless. People are treated as property, actually. They are powerless. They're alienated from the people with whom they work, and their freedom of movement and access to anything outside the home in which they work is at the behest of their employers. And I mean, these are conditions that existed, when slavery was practiced, but that was abolished 200 years ago.
Now, here are some of the comments we got by mobile text message. Isturungi from Somalia writes, Islamically, slavery is not allowed, and the Middle East states should do something about the issue. Stop harassing young female workers. Malik in Sri Lanka believes that his country has no say in the matter. For countries like Sri Lanka, the biggest problem we have is that we have very little bargaining power and very little influence over Middle Eastern governments. Now, cartoonists can often say more with a simple sketch and a few words than an entire news report. We're introducing a new regular segment, Punchlines, to Street Talk, where we'll look at some of the best cartoons from around the world. And to help us with this, we called on Matt Wuerker, who's the editorial cartoonist with the DC-based Politico.com. And I sat down with him to find out what caught his eye. Matt, great to see you.
Thanks, Riz.
And Harry Potter, how could you not spot Harry Potter?
Well, cartoonists love news pegs, and Harry Potter was a giant, global, Hollywood-sized news peg for us. So there were probably dozens and dozens of cartoons about Harry Potter. This one caught my eye. This is by Malcolm Mays, who's part of the great tribe of Canadian cartoonists. And he's up in Edmonton, and he did this take on Harry Potter where he deals with the director's cut, the DVD, of course, yep, and shows us the DVD, and then he shows the author's cut.
And who, of course, is now pretty much the richest woman in Britain, J.K. Rowling. So
she's certainly okay.
They're showing dollar signs. It should have been pound signs. So, of course, now people always find some kind of connection. We've got Harry Potter and Iraq in this second one.
Yeah, here's a slightly more political take using the Harry Potter news peg. This is by Rob Rogers from Pittsburgh. And Rob did this nice version with the kid who's so happy to have his book, and he says, I pulled an all-nighter to find out how it ends. And then along comes Harry Reid, who says, me too, but in my book, he who must not be named won't allow an ending to be written. Now, this is an interesting little twist on it, where Rob is dealing with the fact that the Senate stayed in an all-night session, a very unusual thing. The Democrats, under Reid's leadership, were trying to force a vote to set an end date, timelines for the Iraq War. Right. So it's a nice
they're
statement.
up all night trying to end the Iraq War or troop movements.
Everybody was up all night.
And the kids are up all night reading
Right.
Harry Potter.
Right.
And of course, one of your wonderful cartoons here in full color, Iraq Connection again.
This is one I did for Politico. Mine, I didn't use a Harry Potter hook on it, but there's a lot of controversy now here about the fact that the Iraqi government is heading off for a month-long vacation right at a time when so much seems to be on the line. So my take on this was, I have a scene in Baghdad, perhaps, and we have George Bush on TV by television saying, we must stay the course. And then we have the Iraqi government heading off to vacation saying, we must stay the course. And then we have the poor U.S. troops saying, we?
Now, of course, Iraq's going to give you material for a long time to come, I think.
I'm afraid so, yeah.
Well, Matt, it's always great to see you, and look forward to seeing you on this regular Punchlines segment we have here on Street Talk.
I'm looking very much forward to it.
We'll go through some more cartoons from around the world. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Riz.
And of course, you'll find Matt's work on Politico.com. Remember, if any cartoons catch your eye, or if you're a budding cartoonist yourself, you can email them to us at riz@aljazeera.net. That's it till next time. Do keep sending questions and comments to us, and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera, and some of the content's been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.